This is the Sirui 35mm f1.8 anamorphic lens. So this is a 1.33x anamorphic lens designed for APS-C sensors. So this is essentially for the most popular mirrorless camera mounts. But in this video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing as well as giving some first impressions about this lens. Because like usual with these unboxings you see, I actually have already unboxed this. I've already used it for a little while now, I believe about a week and a half or 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and pull this top off right there. The first thing you got is this accessory box here. So we'll actually do these first and we'll get to the lens next. First of all, this lens comes with focus gears for the aperture and focus rings. This is really nice. It actually saves you a couple dollars versus having to go out and buy them separately when you purchase this lens. And since it's an anamorphic lens, most people, most of the time, will have these on the lens for follow focuses. Since again, this is a cinema lens, it's meant for video work rather than just photography. Now, another reason why I might want these is because this is a fully manual lens. There's no electronic contacts, there's no autofocus, there's no auto aperture, no stabilization. So you're gonna wanna have really fine control over the focus and the aperture on this lens. All right, and the next up we have this nice little carrying case. This is really, really soft. That's it for stuff in there. You just got a couple little cards here, a warranty card and a service card. And of course, last but not least, we have the lens right here. So let's go ahead and pull this out, and that box is empty. So very simple unboxing, but first impressions with this lens are really, really good. I mean, for the price point, this is built so solid. This is fully made out of metal. The aperture and focus rings are both very, very smooth. And overall build quality, I am very impressed with this lens. For being well under $1,000, having this good of a build quality, it really feels on par, if not right in that ballpark of my Mikey 16mm t2.5 cinema lens, which is closer to a $1,200 price point. Now this is well under $1,000. It does go on sale all the time, and I feel like it's always at a little bit of a different price, but I will have a link down in the description to the most current pricing for this. So when it comes to performance, I've used this on my a6000, which is kind of what it's intended for, you know, an APS-C sensor. But I've mainly been using this on my a7S III, which I'm recording this with right now. And so on my a7S III, that's a full frame camera. So this lens doesn't cover the full sensor. There's a bunch of vignetting. But if I shoot in 4K and use clear image zoom and crop into like 1.3 or 1.35 times, it'll get rid of the vignetting and I'll have a larger than APS-C coverage with this sensor. And having just a slight bit of vignetting on the edges, you know, it's not perfect because it's not meant for it. It kind of has some distortion. I really think that adds even more to the anamorphic look of this lens. This lens has a ton of flaring, definitely to the point where it can get overwhelming. So if you want really subtle flaring, you know, and anamorphic characteristics, this isn't the lens for you. I mean, just the price to performance ratio on this is really amazing. So sharpness is good, not amazing, not as much as, you know, any sort of standard 35mm spherical lens at this price point. However, again, it's an anamorphic lens. It's perfectly sharp enough for what it does. It's probably sharper than a lot of other anamorphic lenses even. So sharpness is great, build quality is great. Anamorphic characteristics, are okay. You know, the flaring can be too strong, and the other characteristics, you know, like the oval bokeh and backgrounds and stuff like that, can be a little bit subtle at times. But you've probably seen some footage by now. This is just unboxing and first impressions. I will have a more in-depth video on my other channel, so go subscribe to that if you want to check that out. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.